Hi, David Dillner, City Manager here again for things you need to know what's happening in Dorado. So this week I'd like to share some really good news with regards to the sales tax trend that's been going on for this past month. So in the month of May, the city collected $281,619 in sales tax from retail sales occurring in March. This is the highest amount of money that the city's collected from sales tax in any given month on the record. So that's really good news, and we appreciate everyone continuing to shop local, especially during these last few months. To date, the city's brought in $1.19 million, which is 10.4% over last year's same period last year. So keep shopping local, as these dollars are invested locally in the community in the form of property tax reduction, street maintenance dollars, economic development initiatives, and special projects that are implemented throughout the community. One of the things you might be starting to see across town is the city's hired a contractor to implement some of our street maintenance work. We'll be doing some reclamite work, which is basically putting a thin coating of material onto the street surface. The purpose of this is to keep the top seal of the road on the street so that it doesn't deteriorate further. What this does is it actually preserves the surface of the road and allows the street to last a little bit longer before we have to get to it with a major overlay. You may recall that the city does a major mill and overlay program every year with portions of its sales tax dollars, and the reclamite program allows us to preserve our streets longer so that we don't have to mill and overlay them as often. So you may see that in streets that are north of Central, kind of in the Summit Street area. So be on the lookout for that. So today I'm broadcasting from the Forest Park, the band shell in Forest Park, because there are a couple of events that I'd like to highlight that are coming up that you might want to think about attending. So the first one is the Municipal Band has started their performances right here at the Municipal Band Shelter in Forest Park. They're actually performing every Thursday beginning at 7:30 and again at Forest Park. So if you'd like to hear a great performance from the Municipal Band, come on down. The band's celebrating its 99th year this year in preparation for their centennial celebration, which will occur next year. So come on down to Forest Park on Thursdays at 7:30 to hear their performance. Also happening at the band shelter on June 12th at 7 p.m., the Wichita Ballet will come down to perform their annual Ballet in Park. So if you'd like to come down and experience that show, we'll have plenty of seating. You can bring your own chairs or a blanket and come enjoy the Wichita Ballet in the park, again on June 12th at 7 p.m. And finally, I'd like to brief everybody on the local elections. The deadline closed on June 1st, and so now we have a full slate of candidates. Every position on the City Commission that's up this year is contested. So in the mayor spot, we have the incumbent Mayor Bill Young running, as well as L.J. Frischetti. In position number 1, we have incumbent Commissioner Matt Guthrie running, as well as Herb Llewellyn and Kelly Tetrick. And then finally, in the position number 3 position, Commissioner Nick Badway decided not to run this year, so that seat will be contested by Leon Leachman and Sidney Scribner. There's not a need for a primary election this year because we didn't have enough people file for the election seats, so we will have that all settled in the general election come November. So be on the lookout for that material coming out from the candidates. And that's all I have for this week. Thank you for tuning in to Things You Need to Know, What's Happening in Dorado.